Hi guys, this is Yummy Mommy and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is something that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time, and the reason is that because of my own personal experience of single motherhood, I always felt like this is one of those spaces where people don't actually give you advice on how to be a single mom, whereas it's a reality that very many people in our generation, for one reason or another, find themselves in a situation where they are parenting a child alone and no one is helping them. People are just frowning upon it and just like, oh my gosh, wow, look at her, she's another statistic. But you know what I think? I feel like you found yourself in this situation. First of all, you're brave to be able to have kept the child and you are now raising the child. That makes you a hero. That makes you, you're amazing. You have this amazing gift that God has given you, and you need to live knowing that it's a gift and knowing that you are in a space that is difficult, but also that you can get information and resources that can help you navigate that situation. And I feel like this one is very, very close to my heart because when I was a single mom, and if you've watched my pregnant at 19 video, then you already know that I was a single mom for quite a while between when I gave birth to my child, I guess because I was not married to the guy, to when I met Zach, which was 2016. I was a single mom, so that's for a whole like 6 years. And it was a really difficult space for me to be in because I felt like there wasn't that much information or resource out there about how to single parent, even with things like, taking care of your child, things like co-parenting, things like, dating, which is what I want to talk about today. And I found that I didn't find that much information. It's just like such a hush thing. Like, people are already judging you for being a single mom. Now you want to date, you want to try and find love again, and you're a single mom. Hey, listen, single moms deserve love too, okay? And I want you to get that from this video. This video is really just about empowering you to know the things that you need to look out for, do's and don'ts of dating when you're a single parent, because it's not the same. It's not at all the same as if you are just, without a kid. So I want to give you some 10 tips. I want to say that these are based 100% on my own experience, things that I have seen need to happen when you're dating as a single mom. They are not exhaustive, so you probably may need more information, but these are just 10 things that I thought really stood out for me in terms of tips for dating as a single parent. And I'm gonna keep saying mom because I was a mom, but I guess it could apply to single dads too, I suppose, right? I think so. So I'm gonna get right into it. So here are the 10 tips that you need to keep in mind dating as a single mom. The first tip is give yourself time to heal. Probably, and I wish somebody had told me this at the time that I became a single mom, was that probably at the point at which you've broken up with your baby daddy, whether it was just a fling or it was like a long-term relationship, you're in a space where you're feeling really hurt. For me, for example, if you are like me and I was in a long-term relationship, I was so used to having someone there with me. I was so used to always knowing that I can count on this person, call this person anytime, have good morning texts and that kind of thing, that when now they're not there, it's so easy to just think like immediately you want to fill up that space that they were, they had in your life. But let me tell you, take some time to heal before you start dating somebody else, because it's a very vulnerable space you're in. And I guess this goes for all relationships, whether you're single or not, but as a single mom specifically, because you're probably feeling very damaged. By the time you had a child with this person, you probably thought you were going to be with them for the rest of your life, and now you're not going to. And so it can feel really like you can feel really broken and really empty. It can be tempting to just get into another relationship really quickly, and for some reason it's like the devil just tempts us. When he knows you're most vulnerable, that's when he's gonna send somebody who you shouldn't be with but who you're tempted to be with. So let me tell you, just take some time to heal. For me, between when I broke up with my ex, when my ex and I broke up, and when I now got into a serious relationship, it was about a whole year. Actually, it was more than a year. End of 2014 to it was about a year between when we broke up and when I got into another relationship. But let me say, a year is not like the standard amount of time. For you, it can be shorter, it can be longer, but just ensure that you're properly healed and like you are whole and happy before you get into another relationship, which you hope will make you happy, because that's going to end up making you have unrealistic expectations in that new Number two, and this one is so important, do not introduce your child to every single man you meet. Please, you're gonna confuse your child, you're gonna confuse yourself even, okay? But most importantly, the child, because by the time you introduce a new man or a new woman to now your child, they would now start to see as a mother figure or a father figure, you need to be really sure in that relationship. And I don't want to prescribe what it means to be sure in a relationship, because for me, I introduced Zach to Ethan literally like less than a month of us dating, but that's because I was so 100% sure that this was the man for me and that we were going to get married. So I knew it would not cause any confusion in Ethan's mind about, you know, whether this guy is gonna be my dad, not gonna be my dad. And before that, I had not actually introduced him to any of the people I had been seeing on and off. So let me tell you, do not introduce your child to every man you meet. Wait until the relationship is like, you feel there's a commitment, like a real tangible commitment. It's not like you just met Jana and then you're like, oh, this is my son, by the way. Don't do it, honey. Don't do it. Number 3, be upfront and honest in the relationship from the very beginning with the person that you're seeing, that you're a mom or that you're a dad. I have found that this is a point which I think is a little bit controversial, because some people are like, no, let me wait and get to know him first, then tell him I'm a mom. But for me, I'm like, why would you want to do that? Because I feel like if I'm gonna start seeing somebody, they need to know all the things about me that make me me before we start actually dating, because otherwise I would feel like kind of like I'm being false with him. It's like you're hiding something. For me, like first date or like first meeting, tell the person that you're a mom. Like when you're introducing yourself, you know, my name is Joanne, I'm 28. Oh yeah, by the way, oh, and I have a child, you know, his name is this and he's this years old. You don't even have to go into that much detail, but just let them know that you're a parent, so that from the very beginning they are aware of what this relationship will entail, because relationships where you're dating a single parent are not the same as when you're dating just somebody who is not a parent at all. So please tell them from the very beginning. It might not need to be the first date, but at least like by the second or the third, by the time you're seeing each other now multiple times, please don't keep it a secret. Just say. Number 4, and this one is so important and it really breaks my heart, don't ignore red flags when it comes to, now once you've already introduced your partner to your child, do not ignore red flags when it comes to how your partner treats your child, because those things are always there. If you notice something like sometimes he's a little mean to him, or sometimes he says something which implies that he does not like the child, or the child is an inconvenience or something like that, don't ignore those things. Because sometimes I have seen so many women who they are with somebody who does not appreciate the thought that this person has a child, and they're like, no, it's okay, when we get married it'll be better, you know, now we'll be living together. But the truth is that it will be worse. If he started treating you badly or treating your child badly before even you got married, it will be worse when now you get married. So please, if you see anything which insinuates that this person is uncomfortable with you being a single mom, or is uncomfortable with the thought of raising another person's child, please just cut your losses at that point and just say, you know what, it's okay, I liked you, you like me, but you cannot sacrifice the happiness of your child just for you to be with this person. So please do not ignore those red flags. And there's always that thing in your mind, like there's even if you can't quite explain it, there's always that thing which just tells you there's something wrong here. Please don't ignore that, please. Number 5, create boundaries. Create boundaries from the very beginning of the relationship, and don't forget your responsibilities towards your child. Sometimes you have been alone for such a long time that now when you get swept off your feet by this new guy, it can get so tempting to just feel single again, you know, because with this person you're not necessarily parenting with him. With him it's just you and him, you know, if the child has not yet come into the picture. So sometimes it can get so tempting to just spend lots of time with this person, sleepovers at this person's house. Before you know it, you're spending more time at his place than at your own place where your child is. I have to say that I at some point was very guilty of this a little bit, because I remember a time, even with Zach, before now things got really serious, there are times that I would go over to his place and I would stay for so long that I'd just be like, oh my gosh, by the way, this is not right. And I think back at that time and I feel really, really guilty about how difficult that time could have been to Ethan, although I did rectify it very quickly as soon as I recognized or noticed what it was that I was doing. But just be sure that even though this new person comes into your life and now you're like exploring love again, and it can be really exciting and really nice, don't forget that your first responsibility is to your child first and foremost. Okay, so create boundaries and say, even if it's saying you're not sleeping over at anybody's house, at the end of the night you must be home to tuck your child in, or in the morning you must be there to say good morning to them before they go to school. Ensure that you're there for your child. Let them not feel that gap as a result of the relationship, because if they do, they're already going to start feeling resentful towards your partner, and then it's going to make it difficult for them to gel, and now for you guys to come together as a family if that time actually comes. Number 6, and this is a very important one, is don't have, I realize I've said that about all of them, they're all very important. Okay, don't have unrealistic expectations of your partner. Remember that even if you've introduced your partner to your child, this person is not really technically at that point, they are not the child's dad or the child's mom. So don't start expecting them now to start suddenly becoming a dad or becoming a mom to your child. It's a learning process. It takes a while. Don't start having expectations of, oh, now they must pick your child from school, oh, now they must. Remember, you are the one who is the parent of the child. This person is coming in as now, if at the point at which you get to marriage, they're gonna be like a helper for you. But at the beginning, this person is not your child's dad and it's not your child's mom. So don't expect them to now fill in that role immediately they get into the relationship. That is gonna cause straining in the relationship, and that person is probably not even gonna be able to, match up to your expectations, and it'll cause so much conflict. So just treat the relationship as a normal relationship. Realize that you are the one who is responsible for the child. You are the one who's responsible for the child. You need to take care of your own child. And then as time passes, as things get deeper and deeper, and as the commitment gets stronger and stronger, they are going to start to fill in that role. But it takes time, so don't have unrealistic expectations, please. Number 7 is something which I realized was very, very important for me, especially when I started dating Zach, is you need to create a space where your child can talk to you about their feelings and you can respond honestly with regards to the relationship. So when you start seeing somebody, you have to think about how confusing it can be for the child, especially if the child was used to seeing your ex, who is now their biological father, in their life, and now suddenly he's not there, and then now you're dating this new person. They have questions, they have things that they want to ask, things that they don't understand, and you need to be able to explain those things to him in a very honest way. Do not lie to the child about what is happening. You need to, of course, just the same way as like when you're talking to your child about sex, you need to have some kind of emotional intelligence with how you approach it. The same thing with this. Don't lie to your child about what's happening. Don't, when now he comes, like when the child later on is asking you, so who is that? You can say, this is my special friend, but don't say, that's just Uncle Nani, and then just, kind of like brush it off, because the child will be so confused, constantly seeing this person. Sometimes they're waking up and the person is there, and then all of a sudden you guys are getting married. You need to be able to take your child along in that journey with you. Remember, you're not by yourself. The minute you become a mom, and specifically as a single mom, you are not just you now. You're you and Ethan in that case. You're you and the child. So you need to be able to take your child on that journey with you, so that it can all be a seamless process of coming together. Otherwise, it'll be really, really difficult for you guys to make it together, because your child will constantly be wondering, now what's happening? Okay, now what's happening? I remember not wanting at all for Ethan to ever feel like I'm being dishonest with him, or like I can't explain anything to him. So I would really take a lot of time to sit with him and explain to him exactly who Zach is, why Zach is in my life, what happened between me and his dad, and why we have, why we split up, why we stopped being friends, and why I'm now friends with somebody else. And it really has taken a lot of time. And even now, Zach can tell you, we still answer lots of questions about it from Ethan. He's always constantly still asking us about it. Still, sometimes he comes and says, Mom, why did you and my other dad stop being friends? Okay, sometimes he'll say something like, what if you and this dad stop being friends again? Really deep questions, which show me that he has things that he thinks about, and I want to be there to answer them, so that he doesn't ever feel like he's just been shunned and now we've just continued with this new life and like he doesn't get it. So please explain to your child and be honest with you. Number 8, please, mothers, drama, baby daddy drama. It's a no, please. The quickest way for you to make a new partner uncomfortable is bringing him into the drama that you have with your ex, with your baby daddy. Yeah, I know sometimes this is something which you can't avoid. If there's drama, there's drama. It's not like now you can avoid it, because chances are when you choose to move on with somebody else, your ex might be jealous, or your ex might now bring issues about the child, about custody and whatnot. Please, I would advise you to try and handle that drama in as mature a way as possible. I know sometimes it can be really, really challenging, and these people sometimes they can try us, but let me tell you, try your best not to bring your new partner into that drama. You can involve him and talk to him about what's happening, but don't let it be now any of those like a shouting match or a battle or a fight in a club. It's so messy, it's so nasty. Just don't do it. If you need to get the services of a lawyer to be able to agree about how you're going to be taking care of the child, and things to do with custody, get the services of a lawyer. I'll leave the link of the lawyer that we use down below. He's an amazing guy. He's a family lawyer. He's called Eric, and he helped us be able to sort out the responsibility agreement between myself and my ex, so that it does not get in the way of my relationship with my husband right now. So you need to do that. Drama, please, tumekata drama. It's 2018. We are not doing drama anymore. Number 9 is probably the most important. I know I've said that about so many of them, but this one is a really important one. Don't settle. I need to say that many times for you to hear. Do not settle. Just because you are a single mom does not mean that you don't deserve the most amazing love of all time. There are so many times that women reach out to me on DM and I feel so sad because someone is just saying how, oh, I met this guy, you know, after I had my child and it didn't work out with this other guy, and I met this guy and he's nice and he wants me to marry him, so I think I'll do it, you know, at least I have somebody. Please no, as in, there's nothing that makes me more sad than that. There's nothing like at least. Please, you deserve the most amazing love. And I mean, if anything, if there's nothing you get from this video, let me be testament of that. Because when I split up with my ex, I honestly was so heartbroken. I was so devastated, and I was so sure, I was 100% sure that that was my one chance at love, that it's never coming back again. Like, that was it. But look, I met Zach, and Zach is the love of my life, and I love him so much. And there were so many times in the year in between when I broke up with my ex and when I met Zach that I just thought, you know what, maybe I should just find, like, just, you know, just at least somebody, and just, you know, just to be okay. But I'm so glad that I didn't, because when Zach came along, I just knew that God had fashioned him exactly for me. And I had been fashioned, even with all the mistakes I had made, even with my, you know, like flaws and everything, I had been fashioned to be just exactly what Zach needed. And I am so glad that I didn't think of settling before then, because look, I wouldn't have all these blessings that I have right now. So don't settle. If you meet a guy and he's not up to your standard, and so that you now go and have like unrealistic standards, but if he's not up to the standard, there are things that you are looking for which are important for you in a relationship. Don't let go of those just because you have a child. You don't deserve any less just because you're a single mom. Please, you do not deserve any less just because you're a single mom, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your social life, whether it's in your relationship. You don't deserve less. And my final point is, let yourself love again. I know it's really, really difficult if you've come out of a relationship, especially where you have a child. You know, breakups, by the way, are really, really hard already to begin with. Breakups where you have a child are indescribably painful, because you're not just thinking about your future that you thought you were gonna have, you're thinking about the future of your child that you thought they were gonna have, to be able to be raised in a home where there's the mom and the dad who created them. It's difficult letting go of that. And I know there are so many people who feel so afraid to, you know, love again after having broken up with their partners. But let me tell you, you can be cautious, you can be careful, but don't be afraid. You can find love again, and it can be beautiful again. Don't go out there with this image of like, love is a fallacy. You know, I tried and it didn't work out. And you know, I did everything right and it didn't work out. So love is a fallacy. And then now you just, you know, throw your hands up in the air and just, you know, let go of that idea that you can have a beautiful life where you have a love that loves you and you love it back, you know. Do not let go of that. I remember for me, even for a long time after I broke up with my ex, being in that space of thinking, I thought it was so real, like it was so real to me at that time that I couldn't actually imagine that I have the potential to actually love someone else again. But when Zach came along, it was amazing. It's like God just transformed my heart and just made me so capable of giving him all of me in our marriage, even though previously I had felt like I already gave all of me to somebody else and it didn't work out. So what's the point of trying? It's worth it to try. Be careful, obviously, because when you're out there and you have a child, you need to guard your heart. You need to guard your child's heart, but don't be afraid. It is possible to find love again. And I really, really, really hope for you that it happens. Don't spend your energy out there trying to find somebody. The right person will come along when the right person comes along, and God knows when that is. I'm sorry I'm preaching now, but I really feel so passionate about single ladies or single mothers not feeling like now your life is over. Your life is just beginning. Like I said in my other video, I always think about my son. My son is not a mistake at all. He's a blessing born of a mistake that I made, but he himself is a blessing. Think about the number of women who wish they could have children, but they can't have children, and yet God has blessed you with a child. That is a blessing. Use that to propel you to greater heights. I think if it wasn't for me having a child that young, I don't think I would be where I am today. I honestly don't think I would be where I am today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. This is a topic that's obviously very, very close to my heart, so I'm sorry if I've rambled on and on and on. I really wanted it to be 10 minutes long, but it's been too long. But I really want to encourage you, if you have any questions about dating as a single mom, feel free to DM me on Instagram. My handle is at yummymummy.ke. Please follow me on there, or comment down below and I will see your comment and I will do my best to respond to each and every one of them. And if you've liked this kind of video, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, because I like to know who is out there and who is watching. So it really helps me when you subscribe to my channel. Until next time, it's been Yummy Mommy. Bye. Shindi